everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative, and I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today what I want to do is I want to make 2 of these sleighs. I believe I made this one, I kind of think I made it with 2-part epoxy. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I did. What I want to do today is I want to make 2 of them with the mixed mold, but I want 1 white, 1 red. I've been looking at this one and I'm thinking to myself, most people do Christmas stuff in July. I dare to be different. I'm doing Christmas stuff in September because I can. What I was thinking is if I made this with mixed mold, that I could do some Christmas decorating on it. I haven't really figured that out, and I would like to be able to do something with one of the pieces and, take you along for the ride. And see just what we can do with it. Like I'm thinking stencils, I'm thinking decoupage. If we have, I don't have any Christmas tattoos, but something, I don't know, just something cool and different with it. It's not a very big piece, but I think there's different things you could do with it to make it fun, for whether you made it for a child, whether you made it for someone who just absolutely loves Christmas. If you filled it up with something, you could put a Christmas scene in it. Like there's a lot of things I think you could do with this. People could have this out and just put candy in it for Christmas time. I always recommend that. I know there's some people who make pieces that they put food products on, and I don't agree with that. So for me, I would tell people, wrapped candies would work well in this. Just something that's wrapped if you want to put food in it. But I think this lends itself to a few different things that you could use. You could put your keys in it. You could put money in it. You could put jewelry in it. Again, you could make it into a Christmas scene of somehow, like put foam in the bottom of this. So I think there's a lot of potential with this. And I thought there'd be more potential with it if we made it with mixed mold. This, I have written down in my book, apparently took 100 mils of resin. I have 150 mils of mixed mold that we're going to make up because, again, I've always found that the mixed mold, you need more of it than the resin. I also am making it in white first because I thought to myself, well, you make it in red first, but if you haven't made enough, how are you ever going to match your color? Which, depending on what I was doing, may not matter. I just figure out what you need and do it in white first, because then you can add to it and it'll be easy to add to it versus the other way around. I do have another mold, and I'm looking at this now going, that's not the mold I want to use. I think what I'll do is I will maybe just pull a couple of my flower molds over. Just do it that way, Natalie. Okay, so let's get to it. We will mix up our mixed mold. We'll get this poured in. I see a little dot of something in my mold, so I'll just spray that out. That's why I love these dust busters, because I can blow stuff out of my molds. Like, something that's gotten in there, like a flake of dust, glitter, what have you. Easier if I have those. And I was getting those at Dollarama, and I went in looking for them the other day, and darn it, I could not find them. So I'm going to have to check out a different Dollarama. Anyway, enough about that. So if you happen to know, and you live in Canada, let me know where to find those. I can check the Jolly Tree, and they might have it, or maybe they just were out of stock at Dollarama, or I just need to go to a new one. All right. I'm thinking I might pour it out of this, but you know what? Just to be on the safe side of things, I'm going to get one of my trusty little mouthwash cups. I always have those at the dentist's. Okay, let's mix this in. Okay. to make sure I get all the lumps out of this. I keep waiting for, so because Mix to Mold isn't at Michael's anymore, and oh, what was it? I have to tell you this story. I went on to Amazon.ca to look for Mix to Mold, and they had one of the purples. I don't know who prices some of this stuff sometimes, but the £1, it was some outrageous price, and I went, yeah, okay. Yeah, I won't be buying that. I just find it so fascinating sometimes that, you know, the people who are listing things on Amazon, the different, the brands are fine. It's the people who are selling them. And the prices they put on some of the stuff, it's just like, are you out of your mind? Like, I'm not paying that. I'll buy from Amazon.com and have it shipped to me from the States and wait an extra few days before I'll, like, it's nuts. Like, it's nuts. It was some outrageous price. And I just went, yeah, no, you can keep it. I'm not going to be ordering it. All right, let's get this poured. And I think what I love about stuff like this is that it just flows right where you need it to. And I was almost hoping that the legs on this were separate so that I could do them in a different color, but they're part of this piece, so that's not happening. I want to get this up more, and I'm really hoping I don't blow this by, it's starting to set before I get it all poured. That would just be no fun for me whatsoever, would it? As I say that and feel like it is. All right, let's just get this poured really quick. And some more of the, oops, don't spill it, Natalie. I don't want to do that either. And I'm going to, okay, just slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. All right, let's get this I can pour, the rest I can pour this way. It'll be much faster and quicker and blah, 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 blah. This would be great if I got this right in the first go. And you love when that, if you can pull that off. Now, I maybe should have put this on my Lazy Susan so I could knock it around a little bit, but you know, hey. More there. A little bit more there. I'm kind of wanting to make it so it just, you know, all slides in. I don't have to sand anything down. Wouldn't that be sweet? Yes, it would be. I'm going to have to knock that around a little bit. I think I'm good, so let's pour a little bit more in here. I'm going to have to double check my table again. Hopefully I didn't just put too much in that. Okay, so I don't quite need 150. Let's get this into this piece here. I've been doing some playing today. I made a piece and then I tried to use certain markers on it and I went, oh, this isn't great. So I ended up putting PBO on top of what I had used, and it actually, piece looks really cool now. I'd like to put it in a coaster, but I'm not sure I have one that's deep enough. So I'm just going to mix this up. I'm going to do something that normally doesn't work, but I'm going to see if I can get this. Who knows? I got a piece of polyurethane resin in one of these flower pieces. So I am just going to throw the Mix to Mold over top and see if it'll attach well enough or if it'll just pull away, which might be interesting. Actually, I've just given myself an idea. I wonder if that would work. Anyways, I'll have to give some more thought on that. We'll see when we take it out, because it might have just given me an idea for something we can do. Anyway, okay, so I didn't quite need 150 mil, which is fair and fine. 150. I think maybe if I went with 120, I might be okay. 120 might do it, because I don't know how much is in each of these flowers. But okay, let's say 120 might do it. I can see a bit of a bow in that. It's even amazing, even with white, you can see where. But we'll deal with that later. We don't need to deal with that right now. Anyway, we will let this harden up. I am going to leave this probably for 2 hours. Again, we've got some intricate spots here, and I don't want this to break. So I figure I'll leave it for a couple hours. That should be good. We'll come back. We'll take it out, and then we'll do the red one. And we'll make about 120 mils. And I've got room. Like some of these, like the sleigh legs aren't full enough, I don't think. You know what? So maybe I'll keep with my 150. And that way I can put a little bit more in here, because it's not right up to the top on these. And I'd like it to be. Okay, so we'll stick with 150. I'll write that down in my book. When this is ready to take out, we will come back. We'll take it out. We'll make the red, and then we'll go from there. See you then. We're back. Approximately 2 hours, and we're going to see how this works as far as getting it out goes. We're going to take these guys out first. Very carefully. You know how I like to be very gentle with these pieces, because I don't like breaking them. I mean, not that anyone would. Okay. So we have that one. Question for you while I'm pulling these apart. Any idea what type of paint, etc., one can use on? So you've poured your polyurethane, your piece is set, it's white coming out of the mold. What do you use to paint it with, color it with, once it's out of the mold? The PBO works brilliantly on, I'm finding, resin and the polyurethane. I'm just wondering if there's anything else out there that you use on your polyurethane to color it once it's out of the mold. So if you happen to have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Okay, so here's the other one. And then this one, which has the resin in it, like it had resin in it to start with. So let's see, did it pick it up? Well, we've got that part of it. Now, having said that, even though it didn't pick this up, you could, if I could find the right spot, you could glue it on. So it's not a total waste. My brain was kind of going in the direction of if it didn't attach to it having something in the center. I was kind of thinking that this would be sort of, the pattern would be in there, and obviously not, because it was down as well. But if I clean up these edges, there is the potential of gluing the resin piece onto the mixed mold piece. And you could, I mean, if you think about it, you could paint that up whatever color you wanted to, and then attach this and have it, you know, a sort of a two-piece type resin mixed mold, even though they're not attached as if we had done the mixed mold first and the resin on top of it. Just an idea. The idea ahead isn't going to work, but that's an option. Okay. Do we feel brave? Now, I almost wish this wasn't one big mold, and I'm sure you can understand why. I'm trying to think how best I want to do this. Which direction, where should we start? Because I don't want to break anything. And this is where I'm like these, not that so much, with these little guys I'm a little Yeah. Okay, so maybe if we can get the middle pieces out, we will be able to more easily get the side pieces out. So let's push it from the bottom very carefully. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now I know the one I'm going to have to sand down once it's dry because it's got a little bit of roughness to it. Okay, can we do this? Like seriously, can we do this? Again, being very gentle. I know some people are a little more not as gentle as I am, but it's just the way I am with it, because I don't want to break anything. I really don't. And because they're all one, I'm trying to think how I can loosen it. I pull it away. You're probably going, can she do it? Is she going to get this out without breaking the darn thing? Very concentrated. Just kind of pulling those away from the side. If I could get some of it out, it might be helpful. At least if I got it loosened, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. If I could get it loose. Resin, I'd have ripped this out by now. It's like, how long can you leave it in here? There we go, very carefully. Okay. If I can get my thumb under it a little bit, I can do this without breaking it. I don't want to. I'm a little concerned because it's thick there. What I might do is if I get this out on camera, you know what we're going to do? Maybe this might be the better deal. I did this once before with a piece and I actually ended up breaking it. So this might be an option. Oh, you know what? Do you know what I did? I actually broke it. I broke it. The sleigh piece, the runner. I know I did. So here's hoping I can safely glue it back together and not break the other side. Challenge and a half, eh? Okay, so we broke the one. I did not want to do that. I have to see if I can very carefully glue that back together. And so an option may be, I won't, but an option may be to let it sit for a day. Or, you know, maybe even 4 hours might have been better than just 2. But I do want to get the other piece done and poured, and then I'll see if we can't get this one out without breaking it. Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. But yeah, you gotta be gentle with it. So when we do the red, I'll let it sit longer. Make a difference, I don't know, but We'll see. It might. Or maybe it's a matter of working down as opposed to the way I had done it. I don't know. I don't know, people. Yeah, definitely. I don't know about you, but I'm on pins and needles. I'd be on pins and needles watching somebody do this. I just need to pull that away without, you know, you don't want to, maybe I can, without breaking this one, maybe. It's tighter on this side because of the plastic. Like I said, resin wouldn't be an issue. These would be out by now. Would have been out about 5 minutes ago. I can just, I got my eyes closed. No, I did it again. Same spot. Yeah, get that out. Yeah. It's the same spot. It's because of, I think, that connector there. So when we'll make the red one. I have faith in this. We'll make the red one, but it's, I think because of this right here, if this weren't attached, and I'm not willing to cut it because I use it for resin, but I almost think if that wasn't attached there, that it might be easier to get out. That's my thought process anyway. I got a piece of mixed mold stuck down here. And it's on the floor now. Before I roll over it, I'm going to go get it. Because I don't want to do that. Alrighty. So, I have some bonding to do with this piece. And I'm going to have to make sure I get it in there to the best of my ability. But that I'll do that off camera, and I'll do it, I think, like I'm going to let these dry, and then I'll attach them properly. Oh, I got ink on my piece. I'm doing very well here. Gee, I'm impressed. So let me get these. I'm going to put you on a pause. I'm going to get these things off the table, clean up my mold. We'll come back. We'll do the red. See you in a few minutes. Cleaned up, ready to go. That was getting even too painful for me. Anyway, Lazy Susan here now, so we can tap, tap, tap this. I thought if I had any left over, I would work on making another one of my stands, phone stands. I actually got myself a new phone, and it's bigger than the one I'm sorry. So because I have two phones now as such, and I have Wi-Fi at the house. I have my old phone in my space downstairs and my new phone upstairs. So technically, I can't get phone calls on the new phone, but I can get everything else, which is beautiful. Okay, what are we going to do here? Now, we could do a red swirly. We could, and just throw some of that in. I'm using the Alumilite red for this next piece. I was going to mix it in, but I'm wondering if a swirl sleigh would be more fun and exciting. But you know what? We'll just do it red. We'll just do it red. So I'm going to mix my red into my water because I think it makes it easier. Put that off to the side if I need it. And I'll just have to adjust accordingly. All right. So I kind of want this a really deep red. So I'm just gonna, these bottles can be finicky sometimes, I find, with getting the product out. So let's mix this up and see how red it is. I think the tip of the bottles, I think probably need to cut it down lower. Now it's just, the water's definitely red. definitely. There's that there. I think it's red enough. Because I can, we'll put some more in. Just love that it is, you know, the person who's doing the videotape and you're sitting there, and I can add more even if you're yelling at me not to. And as usual, I have extra water at the side if I need it. Okay, we're going to start off with, instead of putting the stir, what do you want to call that? The mixer, the hand mixer piece. I don't know what to call it. We'll just do this differently this time. Use this first. And then I'll bring the other piece in that's whisk. That's it. Started doing this off camera. Okay. Mixer in there. I don't have a cup. I'll have to just pour it into the plastic cup I have off to the side here. Silicone. That's the word. I'm at a loss for words again. I don't know, it'd be easier to do a voiceover, which I still don't know how to do with my program, so I guess that's kind of out of the question, isn't it? Yeah, I still don't know about that one. Okay, let's get this in here. A couple of little glitter pieces in the bottom, so who knows if I'm going to end up with glitter in this. Let's get it going everywhere. Oops. And this one, I will let this sit longer because I don't want this breaking. The white, I might be able to cover it up fairly decently. I don't know about this red. Okay, that's flow. I need to, yeah, this is starting to set, darn it. I think the colorant has something to do with this stuff setting sooner than later. I'm getting caught on this side. I don't know, I just feel like the colorant just has an effect on how quickly stuff sets. Now I made 130 this time. I didn't do 150. So okay, now we need to pat this, and I'd really like to kind of clean up. Trying to clean up my mess here. I'm not doing a very good job, am I? Oh, you know what you need to use? One of these, that'll do it. I have to admit, these are pretty cool little tools for doing little stuff like this. So I don't know that this is, I don't know if I need anything anywhere else. I just thought if I could put it in somewhere, we'll just see if we can add that. And then we'll just have to jiggle this down. Right. And we'll take care of that. Let's do this. And let's do this because I think it's gonna set. Never mind. I can paint that and I can put it on the inside, so we won't bother with that. I've got too much in the end one. I can see that from here. Just clean up my little slops. I'd rather clean this up now than have to try and do it when I take it out. All right. Yeah, I may not have quite enough again in some of these spots. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm really challenged from a depth perception when I'm filling something. Like, I know this piece right here definitely has too much in it, and I'm going to have to sand that down. So, you know, I get it, don't get enough in some areas and overpour in others, and that's frustrating. Yeah, we'll have to fix that later too. Anyway, that's where we are right now. Pretty color red right now. I have to see. So I am going to let this sit for 4 hours, just because 2 obviously wasn't enough. It is, like, this is fine in here. As I say, I think because of this piece in here, that's why it's breaking, because it didn't at the other end. So that's why I kind of look at it and think, oh, okay, this is why we're breaking. The mold's too thick where I'm trying to pull it out. But here's hoping that that I can pull this off. Anyway, I will see you back here momentarily, and I will do a countdown for 4 hours, and fingers crossed I can get this one out, because I think trying to glue this together will be a bit more challenging and more noticeable than it will be on the white. And I'm looking over here too. I don't have enough. I don't have enough in this one. I don't have enough. Anyway, enough about that for now. I'll see you in a few hours. Okay. We are here 4 hours later. I have just taken this off the Lazy Susan. I am hoping, fingers crossed, and you cross whatever you can for me on your side, that we can get this out without breaking any of the pieces. We'll start, I believe, again with the center and get those pieces out. I definitely overpoured the one piece. Yeah. All right, let's carefully do this. It's one of those, there'll be probably a lot of silence during this. I wish all the pieces could come out just like these three do. Wouldn't that be brilliant? So we'll have to see how the coloring comes up on this as it dries out. It may be, you know, as much as I did it red, it may be one of those things that has to be painted, but at least we're starting out with a somewhat red base. So again, we've got the lighter color on this side. It's cold to the touch, which doesn't surprise me. And all I'm going to do is, so I have a little bit of room to work, I'm just going to take these pieces, I'm going to put them off to the far side here, because the really important pieces to come out, obviously, are the sides of the sleigh. And hopefully, I think what I really want to try and just put it over on its, I don't know. If this one breaks, I will never ever be doing this again. As much as I may want to with the ceramic resin, I won't be. So let's see. Like, it'd be nice if it could just sort of slide out of its, you know, sections and come out whole. I haven't given much thought at this point to decorating, but that's okay. I guess I'm just more interested in getting this out in one piece. Really, really want this out in one piece. I don't know if sort of pulling on the sides here is going to make much diff of much diff, but we don't know, do we? And like I say, that I think, I mean, it'd be great to be able to cut that, but I don't know if it would mess up anything moving forward. I almost think, too, it would be easier if it wasn't, you know, one solid piece. If it was broken down into 3 pieces, I'd be happy with that. But there's no way I can cut this. And I guess the only way I could, you know, do something like that is if I made some perfect pieces or close to it and then recast it. Which, yeah, that's doable too. Okay, let's maybe what we'll do, as opposed to as I'm throwing stuff all over the place, let's just loosen this side up somewhat, and then I'm going to turn it over and see if I can't. It'd be great if it just slid out. Like, great, 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 great. So how many of you have done intricate pieces like this? It's just, it's so much fun when you can do it in multiple different medias. It's just a matter of what's actually going to work at the end of the day, eh? Which is hard to tell. Okay, let's very carefully, like seriously, fingers crossed on this. See if we can't get it out without breaking it. I'd like to think that because it's had more time that I might be more fortunate and the universe will work nicely with me and go, okay, we'll let this one out, even though we didn't let the last one out. Breathing. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Maybe if I just hold it down and don't let it sort of, I don't know. I don't know, people. Breathe with me, people. I didn't just do what I think I did I? Nope, I didn't. Whew. Maybe. I'm just trying to be like more gentle, and if I can get it out of like places, maybe. So challenging right here. I don't know, did I break it again? I did too. Darn it. Okay, so I won't be doing this again. It's just, it's too, there's too much pressure in the one spot. I don't want to break it twice. Like there's just too much. Too much. That's too bad. Darn it. Darn it. I don't know if doing that, like keeping it, I think I did it again too. Sugar plum fairies. Yeah, I broke it again. Okay, so I won't be doing this again. It's just too, what's the word I'm looking for? Too cramped. If it were cut in that one spot, we'd be okay, but yeah, that's too bad. There's just too much pressure in here. It would need to be cut. So maybe what I might do is I might see about making another resin mold so that I can, yeah, prevent this from happening. Because the challenging part now is going to be gluing it back together. This bites. I'm going to be totally honest with you, this bites, because I was really hoping this would work. I figured maybe giving it 4 hours, I'd be better off, and apparently I'm not. Okay, well, I think what I might end up doing, I'm going to see if I can't salvage these because I really want to, and see if I can't somehow glue these back together. I mean, I've lost a bit of the grit in there. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, this bites. I'm going to be honest, it bites. So I'm going to see if I can't, once these are dry, I'm going to see if I can't glue them back together. And then see how they go together. And then be really cool to make. And I truly believe that if this weren't joined right here, we'd be able to get this out. So I think if I make a copy, I would definitely cut it. So we'll have to see. But anyway. Okay, I'm going to let these guys dry. I'm going to figure out how I want to decorate them. Going to glue them back together. You don't need to see me attempting to do that. I've got some super glue over there that I want to use and see if we can't get this to, get this back together and then see how we can decorate these up. So I'll see you in a little bit. Have you ever had those projects where you kind of wonder why you even started it in the first place? It's been an interesting ride with this so far. I spent quite a bit of time sanding down the pieces. I have got my legs back together, the sleigh runners, if you want, back together. I used my Gorilla Super Glue to push them together to get that so that they were together. And then I used the Let's Resin UV resin kit for bonding things. And I took that and I put it on the top. I put some on the bottom and I put some on the inside. I did not put any on this side because this is what I'm considering the outside of the piece. And I did that for all 4 of them. I will not, I can be honest to say, I am not going to use this mold if I do a mixed mold again, ceramic resin. I truly believe, because of this being joined here, that's where my problem was. If I do decide to make a new casting of this silicone mold, that I will make sure that I can cut between these two or do whatever, because I really think it's the pressure that caused this to break, because it did it in the same place on all 4 of them, and that's what's drawing me to that conclusion. The other thing I want to bring to your attention, so you don't do it, I seriously thought that, like, when I was putting these pieces together, I put the Gorilla Glue in between the 2 pieces, and then I laid it down on my silicone mat because I wanted someplace flat, and then held it together. Well, wouldn't you know, and I seriously didn't think. I figured because it's silicone, this will peel off. No, it doesn't peel off. It actually sticks, and some of you may have known that, but it does stick, and I had to use my X-Acto knife, and I actually I dug out a little piece in my mat, and you may not be able to see, it's right here, and then I had to scrape it off of the piece. I was shocked. I was not expecting that. So I had to come up with a maneuver around to get them put together. So this has just been absolutely crazy. Have I even come up with any ideas on how I'm going to decorate these? Absolutely not. Because I've been too busy sanding. I've been too busy putting things back together. And it's a good thing I can laugh at this. It's just a good thing I can laugh. Now, with the red one having dried, I mean, we're splotchy. That's okay. I mean, I've got red paints. I've got some red dyes that I might be able to put on this. I want to be careful with them because if I seal it, I want to make sure the color isn't going to come off at the end of the day. I did have to do a fair bit of sanding. We know that the one piece of red was too thick. I'd said that when I was working on it, I could see that it was too thick. The other thing I'm going to recommend for you, because I had gotten a little bit of red on the white piece that and I didn't want to have that happen, is that you have, like, you do things separately. You do your whites, you do everything you need with your white, then you do your red. And from a sandpaper perspective, definitely going to recommend that you keep your colors separate from your whites. Sort of like doing laundry, the same kind of idea. I didn't get red all over my white, but there were a couple of times I was going to go do something and went, oh yeah, you can't do that because there's red all over this now. Anyway, I'm trying to share my pain so you don't have to go through it. If you do this and you have this mold and you're going to do the mix to mold, yeah, I don't recommend using that mold. If you can figure it out and get it out without breaking things, oh, I am going to be super impressed with you. I don't know if leaving it overnight would have fixed it and helped with my problem, but I definitely know, yeah, I had problems. And there you have it. Natalie had problems. So let's just get these guys together. Like I said, I had to do a fair bit of sanding on these. I had to do in around these notches. One of the beautiful things with working with ceramic resin is it's really easy to file down. Still took me quite a bit of time. However, well, we did our best. Now, I've put it together from like putting each of the pieces in where they belong. I haven't put it together. So here's hoping that this all sort of fits in nicely for the camera and for you. And then we're breaking anything, getting it in. Come on, people. I seriously am having issues with this. This is not fun anymore. My fun has gotten up and left. No, I'm kidding. It's a challenge, and I do like challenges. So I'm wanting to make sure I've got this right, because if I pull on this and I break it, I'm going to be seriously not a happy camper. But that's not, I can't get that in. So let me try this the other way. I don't know where we went wrong on this, because well, like I said, individually the pieces were fitting in. Together we're not doing such. So let me get that out for a second. And I may not just have it, I mean, it's not pushed down quite far enough. I thought I had it pretty decently down, but I feel like this end piece here is just, yeah, not going to cooperate with me. If I could get it in there first, maybe I have a hope with the rest of it, or maybe not. Like I said, I don't want to break it. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some more sanding. This is not going to, so let me see if I can do this without that piece. Yeah, this piece must be still a little off. So I don't know if I can. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be, get it together and don't ever take it apart, right? I need to take it apart though so let's just turn it so we can see it. And actually, when I was sanding, I also chipped some of the corners off of these. Yeah, this is one of those things you got to be super careful with. So let's hope the white one might go together better than the other one. Let's do this. No. Trying to think of how the pieces go by the feel of them. Yep. No. No. Okay. Let's hope this goes together better. Seriously, people? Guess I should have checked this before I did this, eh? So you didn't have to go through the pain of all of this? There we go. I mean, I know it's got a bit of strength to it, but I just don't, like I said, I don't want to break it. I don't want, because I put all the pressure on the leg, right? There's a good idea, Natalie. Okay, I think I am going to have to do some more. Well, I thought that with the red one too, didn't I? I mean, pieces did stay. Oh, well, I'll have to work on that white one. Okay. So we're kind of together. The white one's almost. I'm going to have to do a little bit more sanding on the one piece to get it together so we fit. Now the next part of my process is seriously going to figure out how I'm going to decorate. I wouldn't sell these, or what I might do is I might give them away to people and just say you're going to have to be silly careful with them because I broke the sleigh legs, and if someone wanted to use it, or it could just be used as a display for something to, put something in. Like I say, if I make another one, it's going to have to be in a different mold. Anyway, I just wanted to show you where I'm at with these right now. I'm going to obviously work on my white one to get it back, to get it so it goes together better than what it is. And I'm going to see what I can use to decorate these with. I'm not sure I would color again the mixed mold ceramic resin just because of the splotchiness in it. But at least it gives me a red base to work with. Versus starting with white, which if I were to paint it red, it would take a little bit of painting to get it to the shade I want. And this one's already sort of started on that route. Anyway, this is where we're at. I'm going to come back with more. Stay tuned. We are back, and I'm done. And when I say I am done, I have come to the conclusion I am never going to make this piece out of ceramic resin again. If there were another mold I could find somewhere that would allow me first to get the pieces out without breaking them, that would be awesome. However, the white one I've done nothing with. This one, some of the issues I've had with it, I painted it and I didn't do everything. So please note that this is not a completed paint job. I did some of it. I didn't do all of it. And what I found was I used Craftsmart paint, cherry color, multi-surface satin. And I don't know whether it's because of the ceramic resin or because of the paint itself, but I've had some instances where the paint is actually pulling away from the ceramic resin. I don't know whether it would have been better to have sealed it first and then painted it, or it's the paint, or I don't know. I mean, this had more than a day to set up and dry out. I'm not sure what's sort of causing the grief with that. Also, I broke another piece of the sleigh leg on this one when I was working on it. So I had to, not that side, this side I had to fix back here because I broke it back here. So I know one of my subscribers had mentioned that, they put resin over top of the ceramic resin, and that might have been a good idea to have done before I even attempted to take out of a mold. and then that might have helped a little bit. Or maybe what would have been a good idea was to have, like, you know, painted it very carefully, and then put sugar plum fairies. Okay, this is loose. Okay, so this leg is loose. This is going to break off. Seriously, I'm never doing this again. I just touched it and I could feel it moving. So I might have to shore that up a little bit more. I did put the Let's Resin bonding on that, and I mean, I put double the amount back here, and maybe that's what I need to do up there. I don't know, but anywho, I am not doing this again. If you care to venture, knock yourselves out. What did I do? I added a little bit of decoration, as far as I used one of my stencils, the Simon Hurley Astro paste in. This is Tropical Tango. It's got glitter. It's insane with the glitter that's in it, but it's kind of cool. So that piece is actually supposed to be flipped down, but it wouldn't fit in the way I needed it to. So I just thought, okay, well, we'll do it that way. That's kind of cool. I've got the front the same. That's very carefully, because I really don't want to knock that off. I'll fix it after this video is done. I did the snowflakes on the back, and then on the sides I decided to do something a little bit different with the triangles, and then these crystals, cheap knockoff crystals, not real crystals, on this side. And I know these need to be painted, and I'll do something. I've got a stain that I think I'd like to try on it too. So what I might do, I'm seriously not taking this thing apart. I'm going to leave it together as it is now, and I'll find a way of finishing it up for myself. And maybe I will put just, a bead of resin all the way along, sort of maybe from here back, to deal with the fact that it's broken in two pieces, and now that one's loose. That's disappointing. Anywho, that is my life in a nutshell with this piece. If you're going to attempt it, I say have some patience. Maybe put some resin on it before you take it out of the mold. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's been one of those trial and error kind of pieces. I have no idea how I'm going to decorate the white one, and I might, just for sake of, like, do the whole Sleigh runner in UV resin before, or even two-part, before I do anything with it, just to firm them up, right? So that I don't have to worry about it breaking in. That's my video. That's my story. That's what I'm sticking to for now. I accept any and all comments you might have about this piece, because it taught me not to do this again. If nothing else, that's what I've learned from this video. Anyway, have a great day, whatever you're getting up to. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Take care, and bye for now.